Alright, two more division previews to go. I'm going to do the NFC West now, and leave the big one, the AFC South, to be the last one. So here we go. The St. Louis Rams were the team that finished last year, not only in the NFC West, but in the entire NFL. They just won once last year. And because they had the worst record in the NFL last year, they got the first pick in the draft. And with that pick, they picked the guy who is their starting quarterback this year, Sam Bradford. And I like him. I like the way he throws. He knows how to throw the ball. We know that. But as far as the people he'll be throwing to this year, seriously, can you name one? If I didn't have a roster in front of me, I probably wouldn't be able to. And the guy who figured to be the guy with the most receptions this year, Donnie Avery, is lost for the year with an injury. So, yeah, it doesn't look good for the passing game, although it's not really Bradford's fault. It's the lack of experienced receivers. And I mean, technically Bradford's inexperienced too, but he knows what he's doing. And if there is a bright spot on the Rams, it's got to be the running back, Steven Jackson. That guy's a beast when he finds a hole. But with the line, he may not find too many holes, so... Don't see a lot great happening for the Rams. I'd say it's a backwards year, but you can't go much more backwards than one win, so... Maybe they'll beat one win, but it's not going to be a great year for them. Okay, moving on to the Seattle Seahawks, the third-place finishing team from last year. Veteran quarterback Matt Hasselbeck's still there. Had some great seasons. I've been saying this a lot. He's been to the Super Bowl once, but kind of had an off year last year. Looks like Julius Jones is going to be the running back. They picked up Leon Washington too. He's going to see some of that time as well, probably. And as far as receivers, one of the best names in the league, TJ Houshmandzadeh, will be their top receiver likely. Deion Branch is there too. Yeah. All in all, it looks like a team with some bright spots and some holes, basically. As far as defense goes, Lofa Tutupu, one of the best linebackers. Well, maybe not one of the best linebackers, but he's a very good one. Lawyer Malloy, former Bill. Always liked him. Babineau, just throwing out some random names. Trufant's another one. Yeah. Olinda Mare, I like him as a kicker. Haven't heard his name a lot lately, but when he kicked for Miami, he was a beast. All in all, some good players and some holes, basically, in Seattle. I think the result this year is probably going to be about the same for them. So moving on to the second-place finishing team from last year, the San Francisco 49ers. And as a second-place team, they finished 8-8, which is not great for a second-place team. Shows you how weak this division is, pretty much. Alex Smith returning as their quarterback. He was a first-round pick as well, just like Sam Bradford was this year. And who's he throwing to? Just remind myself, Crabtree is probably there. The guy who's going to get the most receptions. All in all, it's a solid core, but I don't really see any stars there. Frank Gore is one of the best running backs in the league. San Francisco's probably going to be the best running team in the division. Because of him, they got Brian Westbrook too to back him up. So yeah, they don't have to worry about running. Vernon Davis as well, one of the best tight ends in the league. It's going to be... So they're not hurting too bad on offense. As far as defense, Nate Clements, another former Bill, always liked him. Takeo Spikes, another former Bill. Great. Patrick Willis, that guy's going to be a monster as a linebacker. Again, all in all, San Francisco at worst probably finishes 8-8 again, maybe 7-9. Hard to say in this division, really, but again, maybe they improve a little bit, but maybe with Westbrook backing up Gore, but they are gonna be a great running team. I'm sure of that. But yeah, Smith is still kind of a question mark at quarterback. He hasn't really lived up to his first round pick status, if you will. But at least the running will be solid. If not solid, amazing. Which brings us to the Arizona Cardinals. And the quarterback they've had for the last few years, Kurt Warner, who brought them to the Super Bowl 2 years ago and brought them back to the playoffs again last year. He is now retired, which means Matt Leinart is taking over for him. And like Alex Smith, he's not inexperienced. He's been the starter before, but again, hasn't really lived up to his hype. But we'll see if this year he can turn that around, because he's got some great receivers to throw to. Larry Fitzgerald, one of the best receivers in the league. They lost another one of their best receivers in the offseason, Anquan Bolden, who went to the Ravens. But they're not hurting. They've got some other solid receivers in Steve Breston, Early Doucette. Liner's got a lot of options. He's going to be okay. He's not going to worry about who to throw to or anything. And maybe, just maybe, that'll help him. Running backs, looks like another split. Tim Hightower, Beanie Wells will likely get split the carries. Maybe Hightower gets more, but I don't know. And defense, looking at the defense, I think Arizona's probably got the best defense in the division. Darnell Dockett, great defensive lineman. Who else am I looking at? Joey Porter, another good running back. And they probably got one of the best groups of defensive backs in the league. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, Adrian Wilson. So they'll probably be a good team for their defense putting points on the board as well. So with a defensive back core like that. And Feely's still a good kicker as well. Yeah, so all in all, even with the losses of Warner and Bolden, I don't think they're hurting too bad. So let's see, I'm going to go backwards again because it's easier. The Rams finished last. I don't see a lot of good coming out of St. Louis this year. Hard to say how many games they'll win. And Bradford's probably going to be okay, but yeah, I just don't see a whole lot going good in St. Louis. It's hard to be nice about this kind of thing, but Seattle will likely be about the same as last year as well. Maybe Hasselbeck comes back. Comes back in terms of having a good year, I mean, but it's hard to say. It's a pretty weak division, I think. San Francisco, the running will be good, but don't totally buy the passing with Smith as the quarterback and no real star as a wide receiver. And Arizona, even with their star quarterback leaving and kind of a question mark at quarterback alone, he's still got some great receivers to throw to, and they've still got the best defense in the division, so I think even with the losses they incur, Arizona's still the best team in this division. So I think they will win the division. What was their record last year? 10-6? It might be 10-6 again. In this division, it's really hard to say, but yeah. I don't think they're hurting too bad. Arizona wins the division. San Francisco will be second again. Seattle third, and St. Louis fourth. Okay, so that does it for the NFC West. And I'll be doing the AFC South video hopefully within the next couple of days. Don't want to leave it too long. And yeah, I will see you next time. See you later. Bye-bye.